my goodness. Very good afternoon to you as we welcome you to the Annalee Gym. Your Petaluma High Varsity Girls basketball team takes on the Annalee Tigers here in a pivotal SCL late season game. If the Trojans can defeat the Tigers, currently in a tie for second place, they will win their first SCL title since 2013. They are already on a 10-game winning streak, 9-0 in SCL. They've won 15 out of their last 17. They are on an absolute roll, and their statement game was a victory over Annalee in their home gym last month, 60-52. The Tigers are going to look for revenge tonight. The Trojan defense has been dominant all season long, and it made a statement against Annalee. They were spectacular. Annalee could not score in that second half. The Trojans came behind from 13 down to supplant Annalee, who came in as league favorites. The Tigers' season has maybe been a little disappointing in some ways. 6-3 on the season, in a tie for second with both Sonoma Valley and Healdsburg. All three of those teams still have a shot at the share of the SCL title with the Trojans, but if the Trojans win one of their next 3 games, and all 3 will be tough, this might be the toughest, they will win the SCL title. They'd love to win out, they'd love to finish first with the SCL title. Every game, especially these road games against top teams, are key too. They're battling for a home game in the NCL playoffs, where it seems like they're going to be very dangerous. The Trojans have played better at home all year, so this is going to be a big one against a very talented Tigers team. Can the Trojan defense shut down Annalee again, or will the Tigers turn it around? They have a lot of talented team, a very talented squad, and it is also senior night for them as well, so they will be hyped up as this gym is hyped up. The full game with play-by-play is coming up next. All right, we are just about ready to go here. Annalee Tigers, Petaluma Trojans here in this big SCL matchup. It is the third to last SCL game for both teams. Trojans will have senior night against Sonoma on Tuesday. That will be live streamed on our YouTube channel. Sonoma Valley also in this tie for second with the Annalee, so that will be a big one. Tigers looking to keep their SCL title hopes alive. They came in as favorites, but the Trojans have supplanted them. Head coach Sean Matchin has done a great job. We'll see if the Tigers have some revenge in the Saturday matinee affair. Tip is 1, and we are underway. All 3 seniors starting for the Trojans. 5 seniors, as Caden Chris hits the jumper. 5 seniors for Annalee, honored tonight here as well. Senior afternoon. Tigers leading scorer, Isabella Hausman, number 12. Jumper is good there by Marnin. 2.1 points per game, and Annalee's going to have to mix some things up offensively. The Trojan defense was so good against them in Petaluma. Martin's feeling good early. 3 ball off the mark, though. And boy, did she have a good game against the Tigers. 24 points. Kelsey Martin in that Friday night thrilling comeback victory. She was just absolutely on fire in that second half. She could not miss. A lot of more early ball movement here by the Tigers already, but they turn it over there. Tigers 12-11 overall on the season. They've split with both Sonoma Valley, they've split with Healdsburg. They lost to Sonoma Valley. No, they split with Sonoma Valley. They just lost them last week, which they were alone in second, but they fell to Sonoma Valley last week as Jaden Chris went to the line. And they still get to play Healdsburg next week. The Tigers 38-33 loss at Sonoma Valley on Wednesday. Lost to Healdsburg at home here 54-45. And they'll play Healdsburg in their final game in the Greyhounds gym next Thursday night. Pair is split by Chris, so it's 3-2 Trojans here. 6:42 left to go in the first quarter. 3 ball by Hausman is off the mark. Chris pulls in a hard-fought rebound. Size is a lot better for the Tigers than a lot of the teams the Trojans will face, and they can't use that advantage. Big Jaden Chris in the middle. Chris leading the Trojans, scoring 9.1 points per game. The 5'11 center, telegraph pass there, well read. The drive the other way, a little bit out of control. Martin, great ball movement. Martin just couldn't finish. Temple to Martin to Christ. Was DeBean one of the two team captains on the Tigers with that drive on the last one. Trojans are playing with so much confidence with this win streak. Martin's runners off of mark. She's really aggressive. I think she's really been a little bit off ever since that Annalee game, but I think she remembers that success against the Tigers. She's ready for it. Inside, Chris, you really can't score on her. She's just too good, and that was a big issue for Annalee. It really couldn't get into the paint. A wall was built around it. DeBean the drive. Good defense, and DeBean was handed a technical on that one. She just got so frustrated because she's customarily more of an aggressive inside player that really likes to drive, but couldn't do that against the Trojans. Great ball movement. Pate's three ball off the mark, leads the team in three-pointers and in three-point shooting percentage. For most of the season, her three-point shooting percentage was actually higher than her normal field goal percentage. It just dipped below it of late. Currently, Pate, 28% from the field, and now 27% from the three-point line, averaging 6 points per game. The 5'5" junior guard, one of the secondary captains. Along with Courtney Temple, Nicole Costa, leading captain. Oh, and they had Temple there. Chris drew the double team, but miscommunication headed the wrong way. Trojans lead 3-2 here. Low scoring start to this one. Trojans trying to clinch their first SCL title in 5 years. Coach Ratchen's second season. And this would be really the moment that they would officially, the dynasty would be back. Petaluma Varsity Girls basketball, and Chris comes out defensively and continues to give trouble to the Tigers. Martin, wow, I'm not sure I've seen her this aggressive all season. She's shooting at every moment, and Chris helps out there. Forces a dump ball. Arrow was pointed towards Annalee, but at least they got the flip. Oh, you see that aggressiveness by DeBean, and she forces the foul there. Alexis DeBean, one of the 5 seniors, averaging 6 points per game, only behind Ambrose and Hausman. 4.8 rebounds per game as well for the junior guard. Temple out, and Shireen Arakat, only a sophomore, but she is second on the team in scoring with 9 points per game exactly. Pulls down almost 5 rebounds per game. 40% shooting for a small forward, which is spectacular. She has been a spectacular addition to this Trojan team. Both free throws no good. Last touch by Annalee. Trojan ball here. 4 minutes gone here in this first quarter. Trojans lead 3-2. Outlet to Arakat. So aggressive. Went right through the contact, no call, and Annalee ball. Or Kyle Gomez, the head coach for the Tigers. Trying to encourage them on. With Sonoma Valley a little bit more down this year, lost a lot of good players, the defending league champs. Tigers came in really heavy favorites. No one thought the Trojans could be this good. 3 ball off the mark. Offensive board pulled down. That's going to help Annalee if they want to get their shot going. Great effort by Chris again. She is getting her hands on everything. Julia Ambrose couldn't shake that shot. And already you can feel that frustration for Annalee. They just can't score against this Trojan defense. Martin spinning. Trying to go into Chris, but it's not going to be easy for Jin Chris, the junior inside. Alea Armstrong, the junior for Annalee, pretty tall herself. Got to be about 5'11", I think. Might actually have an inch on Chris. 2 tallest players in FCL. DeBean's so predictable, just inside every time, probing drives. And Annalee doesn't like to shoot threes, which is a real issue for them because it's sort of what you're forced to do to beat the Trojans. Well read there by Ambrose, couldn't take it. but we saw Piner, who's actually, they're 5th right now in SCL. They're the best three-point shooting team in FCL, and the Trojans almost blew that game against them. They won 43-42. Piner got on fire in that second half, and that was how they started scoring defensively. There's a pull-up by Ambrose. Trojans started to settle back in the paint there. Got back a little too quickly, not a good closeout. And Annalee takes their first lead of this one, 4-3. Trojan offense very cold here to start. Cat inside. Chris just took it out of the hands of Armstrong, but gotta be smarter on those passes. And then the foul the other way. Pate didn't like the call, smiles. Will be second team foul on the Trojans, first on Pate. Trojans coming off 2 very easy victories over LC Allen, 51-20, and El Molino, 46-28. Hausman will enter. Trojans swept Healdsburg with a 43-29 victory at home. That was our last live stream on our YouTube channel. And was that it? Was a 3. 3 ball by Sierra Atkins. And 7-3. Well, we said Annalee would have to hit some threes, and you see it right there. Good aggressive play. Osmond takes it out of Nicole Costa's hands, who's had turnover problems all season long. Pink gets it right back, though. Scacolosi getting ready to come in, and that might be someone you need. She is someone that can be a spark when the Trojans get a little lethargic, drop their intensity. Cat, so a deep shot from the elbow there. Chris must have like 5 rebounds by now. It's been ridiculous. And Martin forces the foul. Annalee's going to have to find some way to stop Jane and Christ. Defensively, Scacolosi will enter. Nicole Costa, the team captain, out. Scacolosi had a great game against Healdsburg when they went a little tired. Scacolosi 4.4 points per game, but it's her energy that's key. Great inbounds play, and Cat lays it in. 7-5. First field goal in 4 minutes for the Trojans. They needed that. Too many cold droughts. It's still been an issue. Cat somehow couldn't pull down that steal. Great instincts, though. She truly is exceptional at that. And there's just no room to drive inside for Annalee. I think you try some more threes. You get someone hot. Sabine already hit a 3. That could really help the Tigers. Foul on Armstrong, and they're going to call a shooting foul. Scacolosi will head to the line. Coach Retchen loves the juniors' aggressiveness. Scacolosi has really improved from last year. It was just a 23% free throw shooter, or 23% shooter last year, and as she sinks the first free throw, just 53 points overall in the season. Well surpassed that this year. 4.4 points per game. 2.5 rebounds, and almost 40% from the field, one of the highest shooting percentages on the Trojans. She's been key to this success this year, this huge breakout season. 7-6, under a minute left to go here in this first quarter. And travel is called on Claire Brown. The senior has been quiet for the Tigers, and the Trojans are fantastic at forcing turnovers. And Brown with 3.5 turnovers per game, that's going to be a target to someone that handles the ball a little loosely. It's been an issue for the Tigers this year. Chris, a little too tall for Lily Cataruzzoli, who just entered, the junior. Trojans senior night on Tuesday against Sonoma. They'll be honoring their 3 seniors, Courtney Temple, Nicole Costa, and Kelsey Martin. Cat almost forces another steal, and jump ball. Arrow points towards the Trojans. Smart play by Brown to sort of sit on top of it, at least force the jump, but another steal by Cat. Almost 2 steals per game. She gets her first there. Just a light press. Shot clock is turned off here. Cataruzzoli, also a star varsity golf player, won SCL in golf. Beautiful backdoor pass to Cat. No, she traveled. Oh, well, that pass was perfect, but I said Cat just bobbled it a little bit. Down to 5 seconds. Drive by Brown, totally out of control, and she traveled herself. Probably would have been a charge too. Eric Cat was ready to step up and take it. Trojans always do a good job there. And that will do it. 7-6. It was a very low scoring first quarter. This one is going to be hard-nosed. If the Trojans can get some offense going and get some players shooting, feels like they're going to be hard to stop. But at the end of one, Annalee Tigers 7, Petaluma Trojans 6. Start of the second quarter here. Annalee leading 7-6. Good hands by the Trojans. No room to move inside that paint. Once you get in there, it's just a battle zone. Another turnover on the Tigers. Just wonder, it doesn't. A few adjustments, a few plays have been set up by Gomez, but not a lot by the Tigers. It seems like it's going to develop offense for them. Trying to get Chris involved there, but this is one where could be very well neutralized by Alea Armstrong. And Chris leads the Trojans in scoring, but she's gone through some confidence issues. Coach Retchen always wants the offense more initiated through her. At points this year, she has been dominant inside, and teams can't stop her. But when that size is equal, it makes it harder. Just a wild shot there. Never had a chance. Isabella Hausman, who leads the Tigers in scoring, actually came off the bench today. Still no points. Eric Cat inside, lays it in. There's that aggressiveness from the sophomore. So outstanding. She brings it every single night. And you go watch a game against Del Molino Elsie Allen. Oh, she's going to still bring full intensity, full throttle. That's so key. There's a three ball by Julie Ambrose. Second on the team in scoring. And they need those, do the Tigers. Retake the lead 10-8. Good ball movement. You pull the Trojan defenders inside. There's going to be room for some threes. Teams have found that this year. It's been the one hole in the Trojan D. Scacolosi aggressiveness. It will stay Trojan ball. Not a lot of fouls here early. 3-team fouls on Annalee, 2 on the Trojans. Trojans shooting 33% on the season. Who struggled from 3, 23%. They really are driving, looking inside team, especially because they have that advantage with height. Pate, a little too strong. Hasn't been able to hit so far. She's cooled down a little bit from 3, but she certainly can get going. She had a couple three-pointers against Healdsburg, got salted that game away. Great steal there. Chris, great at great defense on the other end. Great play by Chris on the other end with the steal, but Annalee forcing not the easy layoff. Chris is going to take a seat. Still no points. Annalee's done a great job on her. Costa re-enters. Cassidy Bacon, the 5'3" junior guard, will enter for the first time as well. You can see Scacolosi's aggressiveness. Sometimes it's a little too much. Costa steals it right back and then didn't have it. Hausman, oh, beautiful stop on that drive to get the Trojan defenders to fly by, and then she just couldn't finish. A lot of shots not going down for either team. 10-8, Tigers lead. 5:35 left to go here in the second quarter. Trojans' magic number is down to 1 for an SCL title. It'll stay Trojan ball. And they've been through a lot of rough years. Last year it wasn't pretty for them. 9-18 on the season, 5-7 in SCL. Couldn't even make the SCL tournament. This year they might have a home game in NCS. They could potentially get the double sweep with the SCL tournament in SCL. It's in 2 weeks as they throw it into Eric Cat with the shot clock running down. Can't hit, never hit the rim, and the bank is open! Nicole Costa along 2. Oh, that was a little bit of luck there. It might be Saturday afternoon, but Nicole Costa gets the bank, something she dearly wants. She's gone through all sorts of confident issues to be Trojan ball this year. All sorts of confident issues for the captain on the offensive end. Average, led the team in scoring last year with 7 points per game. This year down to 5.2. She has helped defensively though, 5 rebounds. Still good ball distribute, 2 assists per game. Offensive rebounds have been big early here for the Trojans. No call there, they're calling it very loosely. Scacolosi is definitely initiator though. The fast break might be the best way for the Tigers to score points. Get out and run. Isabel Hausman now with 5 on the day. Tigers retake the lead 12-10. We're starting to see the offenses warm up here. And Eric Cat stepped on the baseline. Oh, I'm sorry, a foul called actually. Third team foul, 14th foul on the Tigers. And now another foul called. Scacolosi was getting harassed by Bree Lawrence, only a sophomore. It is a pretty experienced Annalee team. Mentioned those 5 seniors. Got 3 juniors as well, just 1 underclassman. Trojans are actually younger, but so many played last year. You have 8 returners that they have been ready for every moment. They shown so much great poise in big moments, and that's so hard for teams as they throw it into Eric Cat. Good defense, though. Try to get it to Catarazzoli. It's a zoo in the paint, and a travel is called. Travel on Costa, and too many turnovers has been an issue for her this year. 3 turnovers per game for Costa. 12-10, reaching the halfway point of this second quarter. Another steal by Costa. And then a backcourt foul, and suddenly the fouls are racking up on the Tigers. 6th-team foul. And the Trojans would love to live by the line. That would help out their offense a lot. 59% from the line this year, up from 50% last year. Armstrong out, and Armstrong re-enters as Chris re-enters, so you know what game Raquel Gomez is playing with that there. Only way you can neutralize Chris. Ericat forces the foul, and she gets to the line here. This aggressiveness by the Trojans, they've been the more aggressive team getting inside in the paint, knowing they have the advantage there, and they're getting to the line. Foul on Jamo. First free throw off the mark, and it's helped that the Trojans have played with so much confidence, and that helps with that poise. We've seen the varsity boys basketball team be the opposite in close games. They have really been downright bad in close games. 1 in 7 in games decided by 5 points or less in the last, or that were within 5 points or less in the last minute. Oh, they're going to call a foul there. That was not a good call by the refs there. But only 13 foul on the Trojans. Annalee still leading by 1 somehow here. It feels like the Trojans is controlling this, but not enough offense. A couple threes by Annalee have helped them out. Been able to move in transition a little bit. But it's been a stressful evening or afternoon for the Tiger defense because Trojans have been on offense so much with all these turnovers. They try to get it Armstrong, but Chris is just the more talented, experienced player in there. Such a special athlete. That's not a smart pass. DeBean can get out and run. It's the last thing you want to give if you're the Trojans. She can't finish, though. And a hard-fought board pulled down by Eric Cat. Foul on the Tigers, and Shireen Eric Cat will head to the line for 2 more. Trojans with 8 offensive rebounds per game. They might surpass that today. They are pulling down boards right and left. Over 20 boards pulled down over the course of the game. They have been so good on the boards inside. And the key, especially in girls high school basketball, to play with an aggressive physical mentality. And Coach Rapchin has taught them that brown to basketball. And didn't always see it last year, but the confidence and the mental side of things helps so much with that as well. Splits the pair to Zara Cap, but she pulls down her own board. Pate off the mark. 0 for 3 from 3. Great pass back inside to Ericat, and the foul for Shireen Ericat. Unbelievable effort. We have seen some backdoor passes that have been gorgeous by the Trojans. Chris barely looked. She knew Ericat was cutting back inside. A classic move for Ericat with the drive. She can't hit the 3 throw, but 9 team fouls now on the Tigers, and the Trojans can live at the line in the double bonus for the rest of this half. Final 3 minutes. Inside, and Ericat with another steal. Active hands You're wondering why Annalee doesn't just start jacking up threes. Feels like their only solution to their offensive struggles, but Trojans only with 12 of themselves. Your Cat trying to get them going. That's well off the mark. Good job getting back by the Trojans. And again, trying to end to Armstrong. There is just too much traffic in there to get Leah Armstrong involved at all. Might be taller than Chris, doesn't matter. Raquel Gomez telling her Tigers to take care of the ball, but they have not had too much success there. Armstrong, 4.4 points per game. She can be a factor, no doubt, but not against Chris. Such an outstanding player for the Trojans, also on the varsity volleyball team, varsity softball team, and older sister Joelle on scholarship at Arizona for softball. Great pass inside to Nicole Costa. That is how you get an offense going. 16-12, and the lead, they have a 4-point lead, 2 minutes left to go here. Annalee needs some offense. They are ice cold right now. That doesn't fall. And Erica all alone on the other end of the court. Great job running the floor. She gets to the line. A smile on Coach Ratchin's face. He loves how the Trojans are playing right now. In these last 2 minutes, they are running the court. Aggressive backdoor passes are perfect. And they're running the plays that get this offense woken up. And they've had times they've just gone to sleep this year. It's cost them a couple non-conference games, but this is how you wake it back up. They've gone to the line, that's helped, and just brought an energy, a new level of intensity that we're seeing in the last couple minutes. Erica makes up for some of those missed free throws, sinks both. Lack of energy cost the Trojans and losses to Novato Casa. They were hanging in those games until the fourth quarter, but played bad halves, and against Annalee, they played a really bad second quarter as Chris blocks it. Another turnover. Played a really bad second quarter, and that's how they trailed by 13 at the half to the Tigers. But they were able to turn it around after halftime when they were just on fire offensively. Kelsey Martin led that charge with 24 points. And since then, they've just had more confidence to get out of those slumps because they finally realized they can get out of them. And against good teams like the Tigers. Erica's feeling it now. That jumper is good. And suddenly, the lead is 8. The biggest lead for either team in this one. 20-12. The Trojans on a 10-0 run. Open three. That's not what you want to leave the Tigers. Especially Lauren Mernon. Good three-point shooter, and it's the only reason that Annalee's still in this game. A couple threes have gotten them out to 14 points. They called it a 2. Oh, Erica again got free inside. They just can't stop her right now. But she does a great job getting in there and at least forcing the jump to flip the arrow. Actually, they're going to call a foul on her. Only 14 foul, though, on the Trojans. 20-14, Trojans leading. 46.9 seconds left to go here in this first half from the Annalee High School gym. It's the Petaluma Varsity Girls basketball team taking on the Annalee Tigers. And the Trojans are a little more than a half away from an SCL title outright. They swing it to Hausman. Well, that was good ball move to DeBean. I would say Jen Christ is better, but they called a foul there. I saw a lot of ball there. Alexis DeBean will head to the line. She leads the Tigers in scoring so far in this one. Good aggressive player, the senior. Imagine 6 points per game for her. And overall 137 points and a strong shooter, 29%. That's pretty strong when you're a team that struggles to shoot like the Tigers. She hits both free throws, and the full real press we've seen all night by the Tigers. And they almost got a steal there. Lead back down to 4 here. 32.4 seconds left to go. 2.4 second differential between shot clock and game clock. Trojans probably want to hold it here, but Bacon was open. Just a little too tall. I think sometimes Jan and Chris forgets that not everyone else on court, or at least her teammates, are as tall as her. Now shot clock turned off. This would be huge if Annalee could cut this to a single possession game at halftime somehow. the way the Trojans have dominated for stretches in this one, especially late in the second quarter. Oh, that was a good move by Armstrong. She finally was able to get around Chris a little better. Bacon unable to save it, and it will stay Tiger ball with the shot clock turned off. 7 seconds to go. Great inbounds play to Bean, and the foul! Couldn't allow that if you're the Trojans. To Bean cutting inside. That is how you draw it up in practice. You knew there had to be some plays that they've worked on specifically for this game to free up spaces, and sometimes you can't use them more than a couple times, so got to be smart, but that was a big play there. Shot clock down to 1, and that will do it. The end of half number 1 here. Petaluma Trojans 20, Annalee Tigers 18. Feels like the Trojans have controlled this one, but nonetheless, we have a tight affair here at halftime. Should be a good second half. It's all coming up next here from the Annalee Gym.
Getting ready for the start of the second half here at the Annalee High School Gym, with the Trojans leading 20-18. It was an interesting first half, very low scoring for that really first quarter. Trojans really picked up their effort and intensity like Coach Ratchin wanted it in the second quarter. Was really pleased with their effort. However, Annalee had an answer in those last 2 minutes. I think that was really key for them, helping them stay in this game. They got really frustrated in that fourth quarter when the Trojans turned it around. So I think it's key for Annalee to hang around here because they have shown they can hit some threes. That's how they've stuck in this game. They will absolutely have a shot winning this game if it's late, even though the Trojans have won every game that they played that's been close late. They've been really good in close games and showed their poise. I think Trojans would like to get Jaden Christ a little bit more involved. No points for the Trojans' leading scorer. Trinera Cat has been big, though, very aggressive, and Angelina Scacolosi continues her spectacular play of late. She played really aggressive, and she was once again a big spark for the Trojans. Meanwhile, Trojan defense very good. You can't really ask for more as long as they're not turning over the ball and giving breakaways and odd-man situations for the Tigers. It feels like it's going to be hard for the Tigers to score. If the Trojans can try to keep in that rhythm that they had laid in the second quarter, it feels like they have a very good chance at winning their first SCL title in 5 years. The second half is coming up next right here.
Ready to go here. Start of the second half, and the Trojans go right out of the open inbounds with Nicole Costa. A great play, obviously drawn up in the locker room. And Costa gets her first point, or actually she had that bank in along 2, so her second field goal of the afternoon. Annalee's going to have some offensive answers in this one, and turnovers aren't going to help. They said she saved it. Well, she definitely didn't save that one. I think the first one was over and back, but the karma pays off anyways. Annalee has a couple notable wins. They beat Northgate like the Trojans did. Had a nice victory over Vintage. They played Montgomery as they get inside to Martin for the lay-in. They beat Sonoma Valley in a non-league game. They actually then lost to Napa, St. Bernard's. Played some good teams. Lost to Novato as well, so they had a tough non-conference schedule, and I think it served them well, and they got some good wins, some tough losses. They are seated right now sixth in NCS Division III. The Trojans right now are projected as a 12 seed, but it feels like that will rise if they can take up the SCL title and then the tournament title potentially. Jumper will not fall. And that's a hard rebound to pull down by Costa, and she was able to do it. Costa, 5 rebounds per game. That's been a big bonus for her. Here, Annalee communicating, trying to get their defense tight and sync and not give any opportunities. They've done a really good job on Crest. Martin trying to get more active. She was really busy early, taking a lot of shots, but couldn't hit. Temple with a 3. Costa, the offensive board. She lays it in. C2 students, India Smith and Elise Osman, cheering on the Trojans in that far corner. Nicole Costa with an outstanding effort to start this second half. That is the mark of a team captain. Under 6 to go here as Chris forced another turnover. She is coming out, she's reading passes, and she is just a defensive headache for the Tigers. Martin double teamed. Wonderful ball movement. That's who you want shooting the 3, but Pate was off. Best three-point shooter on the Trojans. Hasn't been able to get one tonight. Raquel Gomez wants a timeout. The Trojans have extended the lead quickly back to 8 out of the locker room. 5:31 left to go. 26 Trojans, 18 Tigers. Annalee had a couple nice cuts. Scott drew some defenders in to hit some threes. Besides that, there's really been, offense has been non-existent. Trojan defense so dominant, averaging now just 38.65 points per game allowed per game. And 3-ball is good there. Bree Lawrence, the 3-ball. And the lead back down to 5. That's what they need. Martin harassed. Costa the drive. A little bit out of control, but bailed out with a foul on DeBean. Actually, they're called on Brown. Already second team foul on the Tigers, and they're going to have to be careful about that. Tigers with quickly had the Trojans in the bonus and then the double bonus early in that second quarter. Costa hits both. And she has played really well out of this locker room. Trojans needing some offense, and they've come from different places all season long, with Kristen Ericat leading the way, but they've seen different players step up when they've needed to, and they've found a way to win. This will stay Annalee ball. 28-21, Trojans lead. And they will finally get Alea Armstrong involved there. They'd gone the switch, and somehow Temple had gone Arn Armstrong. About half a foot smaller. She has a smile on her face. No, she can't defend her size. It's just not going to happen. But still prevents Armstrong from getting the easy bucket, and then she gets the luck of the rim there. Trojans have not given up 50 points since that Annalee game. They give up 52, and have only given up 40 points. In that Pioneer game we talked about, they barely won 43-42, when in the second half the Prospectors went on fire from the three-point line. Trojans really played good defense on the road at Sonoma Valley in a 40-30 victory. Ahead to Martin, and it will stay Trojan ball. Tigers are laying it all out there, diving on the court, trying to run it down, but could not get to it. Great ball movement again. Costa jumper, just rushed it a little bit. Coach Ration directing the Trojans to get back. What a job he has done in his second year. Jumper will fall. That's who you want to get involved. Leading scorer for the Tigers, Isabel Hausman. And the Trojans just can't put away the Tigers right now. Lead is right back down to 3. Just feels like they need to string together here a little bit of offense. Cat has gotten some rest and leads the Trojans in scoring. She'll be re-entering in just a moment. Martin's had trouble after her vintage game against Annalee. They get inside to Chris. That's exactly the location they want her to handle it. Get it right into her on the lower block. She's got the leverage, and good luck to Alea Armstrong, shopping Jade and Chris. 9.1 points per game, 7 rebounds, 2 assists per game. Such a force defensively, you've seen it all night long. These rims are quite soft. 2.2 steals per game for Chris, along with a block and a half. 46% for the field leads the team, and she battled back really rough injury last year. Was out pretty much all of November and December with a leg injury that she suffered in volleyball. And sort of went through some growing pains last year, just getting back, but she has blossomed into the focal point of this team, especially defensively, which is just so dominant. Oh my goodness, Hausman broke the ankles of Eric Cat. That was quite a spin move. And then DeBean pulled it down. Gonna fall on Costa. Both players tumbling to the ground. What a play, though, by Hausman. You go back and watch that. Just scroll back on the YouTube dial, whatever you want to call it. And you can see Hausman's impressive move. She's quite a talented player. So talented, in fact, she made a shot after she got a steal of the backcourt while sitting on the ground, and that got featured in Max Prep's top 10 one week. Buchanan was wide open, who just entered, decided not to take the open three, steps in a couple feet, feels more confident from there, and she sinks it. 31-25. 3 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Real intensity is really picked up on both sides. That was good ball movement and a good opportunity there for Armstrong. Just could not finish, could the junior. Seems like Hausman is the girl to go to for Annalee. Can the Trojans might want a double teamer the way she's playing right now. The talent is there, and it's always been there this season for the Tigers. They just haven't been able to put it together like the Trojans have at points, but they still absolutely have a shot at this one. Trojans have limited their turnovers a little bit more here, a little bit smarter with the ball, and continue to be an issue, averaging 10 points, 10 turnovers per game this season. And that one was a little bit forced. They get away with it. Buchanan just sunk the long two. Oh, she's feeling it now, the sophomore. She was on the team as a freshman last year. It was a great learning experience for her. She still's only averaging 2.2 points per game, but she has sunk back-to-back shots for the Trojans when they've dearly needed offensively. They have their biggest lead of the game, 35-24, 2:16 and counting left to go here in the third. Well, Buchanan has all the confidence now, and last poked out by Claire Brown. Buchanan, she might be small, but she has that speed, and once you gain that confidence, she can absolutely shoot special. Well, that a smart pass there, and you don't want to give easy buckets to the Tigers. Pate at least will get Devine to the line. Third team foul on the Trojans. Tigers with 3 as well. They've called it pretty loosely here. Trojans had a little bit of a rough start to their early season play. Got a win over College Park. Won the Constellation Championship, the Gold Rush shootout. Blown out by Colfax, who shouldn't have been in that tournament, but talked about Novato and Casa losses. They were even with those teams, but they just went away too much offensively in those games. And Casa, the game was tied, or a 3-point lead for Casa at the end of the third. It had been back and forth, but their offense just went silent in the fourth. It's pretty similar to Novato, which was a really good team, and the Trojans proved they were even with the Hornets. And then similar against a Rancho Catani team that's actually had their struggles. Trojans just couldn't finish offensively against a physical Rancho team. Great effort by Era Cat. You can see she's in some pain on the floor. She always puts her full effort out there. Such a smart, dedicated player, but it is Annalee ball. Lead is 8, but every time the Trojans have got it around to close to double digits, Tigers have hit a couple shots, and it's gone a lot closer again. Open 3, off the mark by Hausman. Offensive board pulled down. Haven't seen that a lot tonight by the Tigers. Great steal by Payne, except she couldn't corral it. Now she can, and then a foul called on the Tigers. A lot of loose balls, a lot of scrappy play here. These teams know how to do that well. 14 foul on the Tigers. Trojans defeated St. Vincent's, Maria Carrillo, lost to California. Since that loss, their only loss has been to Rancho Catani. Timeout by Coach Ratchin. We'll stick with you here with the Trojans leading by 8 here, and their defense has continued to be very good. Isabel Hausman, though, has picked it up for the Tigers, and she's shooting well, leads the team, the Tigers on the season with 7 points per game, and she showed why in this one, but there hasn't been a whole lot elsewhere from the Tigers, They've limited their turnovers, though, and Trojans just need to be smart offensively, knowing how this game has been going, that they can't give any easy opportunities for Annalee, whether that's in transition or just not getting back or getting to the line. Hal's been 145 points on the season. Good pump fake by Eric, just couldn't finish. And then a foul called on Christ. So fouls starting to rack up a little bit more. 14 fouls on both. 1:16 left to go. Bella Weinberg enters for the first time, and Chris, that's her third. And that's been an issue a couple times this year, including the Annalee game. She had to sit almost that entire second quarter when they were blown out because she got into foul trouble, and that's about the best way you can neutralize her. That was awfully close to a travel there. And it is out on the Tigers. Miscommunication there. SCL standings, as we mentioned before, if the Trojans win this, they will win FCL outright, even if they somehow lost this game, lost to Sonoma on senior night, and then lost to Piner. And yeah, those are all three strong teams. It's possible they would still want to share the FCL title, but obviously you don't want that. You want to win it outright. That's what truly matters. One win in any three of those games, they could do it, but undefeated FCL title could be something truly special. Something Trojan fans would never forget for a long time. Three ball is well off from Costo. A couple shots early. Weinberg's got to be smart there not to foul. Annalee trying to run the floor. Great ball movement. And the foul by Armstrong. And that's what you talked about. You can't give those easy plays. Annalee running the floor. Trojans didn't get back. And you can't foul Armstrong if it's too easy there, especially now that's Pate's third foul. So the Trojans starting to get into some foul trouble, and definitely some concern here. They've just hung around. 34-28. Jim goes silent. It is sunk. Back down to 5 here. Biggest lead of this game was the Trojans by 9. Annalee's led by only 2. And it was just briefly in this first quarter. Trojans have controlled this game, but they haven't been able to get the knockout punch yet. Buchanan hit 2 big shots here. Oh, Chris found a way inside and finishes. I don't know how that pass got around Armstrong, but it did. And now 2 seconds left. Eric pokes it out of bounds, only half a second left before the end of this third quarter. And that's how you get Kristen Ball, find ways to get it to her, and they winded it around her. I think Armstrong was anticipating it almost too much that time, and Krista's automatic if she's all alone at the rim. Almost 50% at points this year. That's good if it goes. Just too strong. So at the end of 3, it's the Petaluma Trojans 36, the Annalee Tigers 29. 8 more minutes of basketball to see if the Trojans can close out their first SCL title in 5 years. First possession for Annalee, and I pulled down an offensive board, but weren't able to convert on their second try. Trojan ball here, leading by 7. Cassidy Bacon has entered, Angelina Scacolosi as well. Jaden Chris playing with 3 fouls now out there. She's got to be careful, but she can be smart. Into Scacolosi. Yeah, looked like good defense by the Tigers to harass her, but Scacolosi knows how to take contact very well, and she forces the foul. Shooting foul, and she went to the line for 2. That one barely hit the rim. Just talking about the SCL standings. Annalee at 6-3 right now. Healdsburg at 7-3, and Sonoma Valley at 7-3. And it's really helped the Trojans that all 3 of those teams have beat up on each other, and the Trojans have beat all the rest of them. Who thought maybe Annalee would come in with 1 loss here, but Healdsburg got them once, and then Sonoma Valley got them once. Beautiful coast-to-coast move by Claire Brown, who's one of the more talented players, played really well in that first half down in Petaluma, but hasn't seen much of her today. Lead back down to 5. Bacon throws it away here. And the encouragement and cheers coming from the Annalee bench. Feel like a little drop of intensity here. Trojans need to pick it up. It's a lot for this room and air. The other SCL teams beating up on each other, and the Trojans remaining unscathed through it all, finding ways to win. That's how you win the league titles. Battle inside and a foul on the Trojans. Now the Tigers are battling now. They have not gone away in this one. And this is absolutely not over. Armstrong head to the line for two. Piner, which really isn't a bad team, just hasn't been able to beat those top four teams. They're only 2-6 in the league. El Molino 1-8, and LC Allen 0-10. Bottom feeders today, Sonoma Valley at Elmo. So Sonoma Valley will be 8-3, no matter what these two teams' records are. As we have a timeout by John Ratchin. Both free throws hit, and this is the closest this game has been in the second half. The lead is down to 3 here. Annalee has picked it up, gone some easy buckets, gone to the free throw line. And the Trojans feels like their intensity has dropped. They were just sitting a little bit comfortable here. Want to get that ball movement going. Those backdoor passes at points have been brilliant. You could see assistant coach Sophie Bin talking in the huddle and helping lead the team. Also, she is the JV coach, which got an exciting victory over Annalee to get revenge on the Tigers. The JV team's only loss was to Annalee back at Petaluma 2 weeks ago, but they get the victory. So they go to 9-1 on the SCL season, and they can win out. They'll finish probably a tie for first place in SCL JV team, and now 20-3 overall. The Trojans get their offense back going. Skakalosi lost it. That's not going to help. And now Brown on the break. She's a good finisher. Oh, that time the Trojans do a good job getting back. Double teamed, and it is thrown away. Oh my. Costigo scrambling up into the stands, was trying to save it. But the press, which we haven't seen a lot of, gets to the Trojans there. Feel a little bit panicked, a little bit out of control right now. Can they hold on and pick this up? Jumper as well, short. Era Cat comes through with a strong rebound. They're not easy now. Other game, Piner at LC Allen, so they should pick up a third. Healesburg got a bye, take it on Maria Carrillo. Era Cat led to the line, that is great passing. And Era Cat just cuts can be so brilliant. You know she pays attention to practice, which she can move like that and get inside, and the Annalee players are grasping behind it. Wondering where she went. Can't hit the first free throw, though. Both teams will be in the 1-1 bonus on the next foul. 16 fouls on both. Oh, Eric Cap misses both. Rare from her. She's typically cool under pressure. Mentioned how well the Trojans have done in close games all season long. I mean, they haven't had that many because they've been able to pull away, or they've seen the other team pull away late here. The Trojans were unable to get the KO on the Tigers, and it has cost them now. Now feels like it could be tight to the finish. Chris way out there. Cassidy Bacon, not much of a shooter, only 19% on the season in. A little bit surprising. She has good handles, though. Catarazzoli, physical. Oh, they get it up top to Chris. She can't finish, and then she is fouled. That's the other place you can go, to Chris, if you're not getting her low on the block. Sometimes up top, if it's not too telegraphed. And Chris can get some separation, and she did there. Gets to the line, and she will have 2 shots. That is poise from Chris, too. Trojans have not had a lot of success in all their major sports teams up here at Sebastopol. The only win in the last 2 years by a major Petaluma sports team against Annalee was the Varsity Girls softball team in the SCL Tournament Championship. And Jaden Chris was the difference in that one. She had a home run that turned out being the game-winning home run, and that is the only victory for any Petaluma Trojan major sports team. That'd be basketball, both genders, baseball, softball, and football that have won here at Annalee. It's been tough sledding against some very talented Tiger teams. They have outstanding athletics, and it'll be the last year with league realignment coming next year. The Trojans will see them. Era Cat pulls down another turnover. Good hands again by the Trojans, and haven't let the Tigers go inside. And the half-court offense, it's been hard for them. Oh, crap, there's only battling hard in there. Coach Ratchin wanted a timeout, but they called a foul before it. There were some elbows swinging on the double team. They really could have called a foul on either player there. But Cateruzzoli's going to head to the line, and now 18 fouls. The Trojans could be in the double bonus very soon. 4:50 left to go here. And the Trojans lead by 5. As we mentioned, next week, do not miss it. Tuesday night on the 3rd, 7 p.m., it will be the senior night for the Trojans. 3 seniors against Sonoma Valley. It should be a good one. Sonoma Valley just beat Annalee. They are hot right now. They beat Healdsburg as well recently, so it will be likely a confident Dragon team coming into the Trojans' den, whether they won the SCL title or not. And Trojans will have to bring intensity. Should be a good one and an emotional night as well. 3-ball well off the mark from Hausman, who's cooled down. A lot of traffic inside and a travel. No foul, actually. My bad. Annalee's pulled down a couple offensive boards here late, and that has helped out the Tigers. You don't want to give them free trips to the line, but unfortunately that's what they've done, and the leading scorer, Hausman, not going to miss too many free throws. Mernon comes in. Kelsey Martin will come in for Chris, who now has her 4th team foul. And Nicole Costa enters, so the Trojans are going to have to do it without Chris, who has been neutralized a lot today, though she does have a couple key baskets late here. Paris split. Lead is 4 for the Trojans. 4:30 left to go here from the Annalee High School gym. Oh, Cateruzzoli wide open, and she couldn't hold on. Oh, she can't believe it. Great running the floor, and she just could not hold on to the basketball. So don't miss, again, that Sonoma Valley live stream starts at 7 p.m. Should be a lot of fun. We'll have the senior ceremony live for you right here on our YouTube channel. Step back, falls. Seemingly stat on the rim forever, but Aaliyah Armstrong's got a little more involved with now Jada Kristen there, and she knows Chris is going to be up for a little bit. She's going to have some room to work. Some of that pass gets into the arms of Ericat. Martin decides to let one fly, and it hits off the side of the backboard. The Trojans' back has stayed open, and it certainly gives them some helpful profits on this Saturday afternoon. Ericat almost with another steal there. And she stepped on the baseline, did David. She had a good first quarter. Really was aggressive, but she's lost some of that confidence. She has been a little bit slow-footed of late. Frustration from her there. Lead is 5. Annalee with a little bit of press. And the Trojans did force a turnover before. They need to get this over the base. The timeline, they just barely do with a second to spare. Pate has 3 fouls. And David will steal it away. Trojans have to be careful. You don't want to give these free buckets, but a great defensive play by Kylie Pate. Slapping 5s with her teammates. She was not going to give that easy to Devine. 3:20 left to go here. Intense final minutes. 3-ball from Hausman. Oh, it did fall. The Trojans survive a bullet the way Hausman's been shooting tonight. And that could not be saved by Brown. She stepped out of bounds. Trojans' final game of the season will be Thursday night, the 8th. They'll be at Piner, and the way Piner can shoot the 3, that's not a style the Trojans love defensively. That could give them some problems. And the Trojans should have pulled away that game. They really played a bad second half, just were cold and lacked intensity, but were able to have poise in that close one. Hausman with the steal. Pull-up J doesn't go. The Annalee's gone cold at the wrong time. And finally, a foul was called there. Costa was really hugging Hausman. They took a while to call it. And now Hausman heads to the line for a 1-and-1, and she's been very good from there. Trojans have been lucky she's gone a little cold from the field, though. Chris is going to re-enter for Cateruzzoli. She's going to have to be smart with 4 fouls, and if you're Raquel Gomez, you know that. You tell your players to get aggressive. Hausman, a 35% field goal shooter. She misses the 3-throw, but gets her own board. Brown from downtown, too strong. Another offensive board. It's Hausman again, blocked by Chris. Still loose, and jump ball. Arrow points towards the Trojans. Oh my goodness. This game has turned feisty. Trojans get it to Martin. Devine poked it away. State Trojans basketball. Annalee has not led since early in the first quarter, but the Trojans just can't pull away from the Tigers. Just looking backdoor for Costa, well covered. Martin has not scored after 24 points against Annalee last time. Great play inside to Ericat. Another genius cut from Ericat. She certainly doesn't play like a sophomore. She's really a full-fledged woman the way she acts in life, and that includes on the basketball court. Well beyond her years now. The bank is open for Annalee as well. Maybe needed an answer to Bean from downtown. Again trying to get to Ericat. It's just not the smart pass. Hausman has it. They get it over. And that one is off the mark. Mernon getting it. Ericat being harassed, trying to get out of it. Trojans need to get this over in time. She has 1 second, and Pate just crosses the timeline. 43-39 into Christ. Oh, she couldn't finish. Good defense by Armstrong inside. And Christ almost fouled. Trojan covers his hands. Oh, you wouldn't want to see your big girl foul out like that. Martin this time is good. Foot on the line. It's a 2. This is the closest this game has been since the first half. 43-41. Chris crosses the timeline. Did she lose it? Trojan ball. Oh my goodness. I don't know how many timeouts the Trojans have left, but they have at least one because Coach Ratchet is going to use it right here. It feels like the Trojans need it. This has been an intense one, and the Trojans are going to need to finish here. Just couldn't pull away, but Annalee has picked up their offense. Devine certainly got lucky with the bag, but the Trojans had a couple bags as well. And it feels like, Chris, at this point, you got to throw out being careful anymore. You got to throw out overtime. You have 1:19 left. She's just going to have to be aggressive as possible. Get it out of the hands of Armstrong. And it's not going to be easy with DeBeat or Hausman can get shooting as well. But Trojan offense has to be smart here as well. No easy buckets for Annalee. They still really haven't shot that well inside the paint. It's too much size for them, but they're playing with a lot of confidence right now, so you never know. Ericat has been brilliant. You want to get her some more cuts, some more drives. Trojans need to be patient here, but safe. This time it's Costa with the drive, and she almost lost it. Ericat is doubled on the baseline. It's loose, and jump ball. And the arrow goes to Annalee. 1:11 left. Oh my goodness. 18 fouls on both, so both would head to the 1-and-1 bonus. Sabine lets it roll to prevent the clock from running. Great steal by Chris. She came out of position to guard Armstrong, and Armstrong almost pulled it down. Still loose. Pate gets it. 4 seconds to cross the timeline. Martin's got to go. Oh, she just gets it to Chris again. The Trojans survive. Chris, not much of a driver. She shows it there. Costa, she sinks it. That's the mark of a team captain. Nicole Costa with the big jumper. She struggled all season long. Will that be the one we remember? 40 seconds left in this one. Hausman. Pate's got to be smart. You can't let them go to the line. Inside. Unable to be handled. It's loose. Foul on Annalee. And Nicole Costa's going to head to the line for 2 free throws with 31.9 seconds left to go here. Hausman not happy, but if the Trojans hit their 3 throws, they are going to win their first SCL championship in 5 years. No pressure, though, for Costa. What a key jumper she just hit, and she struggled after she was good in that third quarter, but she's feeling it right now. First 3 throw is good for Costa. The Trojans have improved from the line this year. That is a mark of an experienced team, no doubt. Couldn't hit that one. Raquel Gomez calls timeout. She splits the pair, 46-41. Trojans will be in the double bonus on the next foul. Tigers have 1 more in the bonus. Timeout situation, they don't have that on the scoreboard, so I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I think both teams still have at least 1 left. Trojans trying to go 10-0 in SCL, get in their 11th straight game, go to 16-2 in their last 17, remain undefeated SCL. They would clinch SCL title outright for the first time since 2013, and what a moment that would be. They've been in the dark. Legendary coach Doug Johnson was truly brilliant, and Trojans were NorCal State champions back in 2000-2001 season, but Trojans haven't even been to NCS since 2014-2015, which was the first year after coach Doug Johnson retired, so they're certainly going to make NCS this year. That will break a 3-year drought. Assistant coaches Connor Bin, Gresham Hoffman have done a great job as well for the Trojans, but head coach John Retchen has seen so much improvement in this breakout season. This would be a hard-nosed victory if they can survive these final 30.6 seconds. No fouls is the key here. Remember, Chris has 5 as well. Annalie's going to have to go. Hausman to DeBean. Intercepted by Ericat, and it's fine to take your time now. Costa just holding it, and the foul is called. Shireen Ericat, what a game she's had tonight. She's 4 steals. She leads the team in scoring. Some wonderful cuts inside, and she's finished with confidence inside. And Nicole Costa will head to the line again, now in the double bonus. 17.1 seconds left on the clock here. First free throw is good. What a game here. Credit to the Tigers for battling in this one. They could have certainly caved in, but they have given the Trojans a great test. But this is a statement victory as Chris almost pulled that down. Annalie has to go trailing by 6. Threes are probably a necessity. Instead, Hausman drives inside, gets the bounce. 8 seconds left to go. Costa gets it into Chris. She's fouled, but only 4.6 seconds left, and it's still a 2-possession game. Looks like the Trojans are going to have enough here, and their offense picked it up. Both teams' offenses picked it up in the second half, but Trojans did enough. Costa, what an effort she's had in the second half. Hasn't always been the greatest season offensively for her, but she's done well. Trojans are going to go over their average in terms of points in this one. 46 points per game, but they're now at 47 here today, and they've had their drops of intensity, but they never really had a long stretch where they played really poorly. Misses both, but down to 2 seconds. And that one will be good if it goes. It doesn't fall, and that is it. For the first time in 5 years, your Petaluma Trojans are the SCL champions. What a moment here in the Annalie High School gym. These 2 Annalie victories are going to be 2 of the most memorable ones for the Trojans. They knew they were back on the scene when they beat Annalie 2 weeks ago, and now they are SCL champions as they come into the Tigers' den and hold on. The Tigers put a valiant effort together, but the Trojans were a little stronger. They brought their offense. Smiles on all the Trojans' faces. Interviews are coming up next as the Trojans go to 10-0 in SCL, and they clinch a banner in the gym. We are here with Jaden Christ and Shireen Ericat after the Trojans clinched the SCL title outright. What does this moment mean to you guys?
It's a really big win for us. We haven't really beat Annalie in their gym, so I just think it's really cool.
Yeah, I honestly never thought we could get here, but we're here now and it feels really good. So.
And Shireen, you were the leading scorer in this game tonight. You had some great cuts inside that Annalie seemed to really struggle with. How were you able to develop that?
I just think we have a lot of good communication, so we all know how each other play, and I think it helps that they know I like to cut, and Jaden's a great passer, so.
And Jaden, you've been such a force defensively, giving teams so many problems, both times against Annalie. How important is your impact defensively on this team?
I think just if we work together and we all communicate on defense and get back and talk and see who has help, I think we do good. And it's not just me, it's Shireen on defense, Kylie Pate on defense, we're all, if we talk, then we're good.
This team feels so confident, like everything has just meshed right. How were you guys able to develop this when just last year you guys didn't even make the SCL tournament? The expectations were nowhere near this high.
I mean, we just work hard in defense and we have fun on the court, so I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, I think our first couple wins gave us some confidence, and from there on, we've realized that we're pretty good, and we're a lot better than last year. So.
Finally, you guys seem like synonymous with a lot of the season. You were able to hold your poise late. Annalee had barrage after barrage after barrage. How are you guys able to hold on and not let them get ahead? They got it down to 2 with 1 minute left.
We tried to keep our composure and kind of play our game and not theirs, and play at our pace. And I think that's what kept us ahead.
Thank you guys so much. Here with the head coach of the team, John Ratchin. You guys clinched the SCL title outright. Coming into this season, after last year, didn't even make the SCL tournament. It was a rough year, 5-7. Did you ever anticipate this moment in just your second year coaching?
You know, in the preseason, I told the coaches it was possible. Everyone agreed. I knew we could. I didn't know we would do it. So it feels really good. Girls have worked hard, so it's about them.
This team is so clearly meshed. There's some back cuts to Shireen and Nicole tonight. We're just perfect. How have you guys built this chemistry that works seamlessly?
Just keep working on it in practice all the time. So whenever we do man offense, it's part of it.
How key is Jaden Kristen inside defensively with this team? Annalee had so many problems tonight getting inside.
She's been phenomenal all year defensively. Doesn't always show up in the numbers. You know, you may think she should score more, but she does so much on the defensive end. How can you complain?
Trojans showed great poise again tonight with Annalee with a couple barrages, got it down to 2. How has this team stayed calm under pressure when they don't have the most experience, even with compared to Annalee?
You know, we went through a couple games with Sonoma and Piner, the first round through league play, where our fourth quarters got ugly and we were turning the ball over. Talked about it, showed some film, and you know, just said don't let it happen again. And we've been pretty poised since then. So.
Thank you, Coach, so much. Congratulations on the league title. That was head coach John Ratchin. Thank you again to Shireen and Jaden for the great interview as well. If you missed any of that, we'll have full interviews and highlights on our YouTube channel. You can always go back and watch this full game. Plus, don't miss Tuesday night. It will be senior night. The whole team will be honoring Nicole Costa, Courtney Temple, and Kelsey Martin. As these seniors have left their mark. Nicole said at the beginning of the season she wanted an SCL title up in the gym, and I wasn't sure it was realistic, but it's come to fruition today. The team comes into an Annalee gym that they have not had a lot of success against a very talented Tigers team, and they pull out a victory. What a performance tonight by the team. Barrage after barrage, but they showed their poise, and as Coach Ratchin said, they really learned from some of those early games where they played really bad fourth quarters against Piner, against Sonoma, in games that they won in those games, or in games that they lost, such against Nevada and Costa. They learned from their mistakes, and they just work seamlessly out there. They are connected so well. They have worked so hard in practice, and Coach Ratchin has improved this team so much. Really remarkable, and Coach Ratchin the players believed that this moment was possible, and they knew they had to work there, but boy, they have been able to get it done. They win the SCL title 10-0, 2 more victories starting next week with Sonoma and Piner, and they will finish SCL undefeated in first place. And then the SCL tournament next week, we will be live at their SCL tournament semifinal game. That will be, I believe, a week from Monday on our Trojan Live channel as well. And then, of course, wherever they go in NCS. Trojans get the 49-44 victory tonight. The Petaluma Varsity Girls basketball dynasty is back, their first SCL title in 5 years. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Griffin Epstein. So long.